we have on the phone right now the official opposition leader of Trinidad and Tobago and the leader of the United National Congress Coalition of Interest gearing up for the upcoming elections, Kamla Persad Bissessar, Senior Counsel. Good morning, Mrs. Persad Bissessar.
Good morning, Philip. Very happy to hear your voice on this bright, beautiful, sunshiny Monday morning. And I congratulate you on your inaugural show. I think you are today. Your talk show, is that today is your inaugural day on the station?
It is. It is.
I want to wish you the best of luck. You're a fighter.
Thank you.
And I know side by side in the coalition of interest, PEP will help us fix it.
Indeed. Thank you for that endorsement. But we started the show today talking, and I don't know if you're offering opinions at this point. I know that you had asked for the advice, the legal advice that they were relying on to accomplish what they're trying to accomplish. Do you have a position this morning as to what your plan or the party's plan is in response? Do you have any idea where they're going with this?
Okay, so there are two matters here. One is we asked for the legal opinions. Of course, I don't think they would give us. What is also important, in addition to whatever advice they may have had, is under what section is the Her Excellency the President proceeding, and we will not know that until later today. That's important because then we can delve legally to see if they have operated under the appropriate sections. In terms of the legalese, the lawyers are looking at, but you see now, Philip, just call election. They should just call election, let the people decide. This has been a coup, a bloodless coup, of course, but at the same time, an attack on the democracy of Trinidad and Tobago. There's a word that is used, a sort of Spanish word about it, where you have used the Constitution and really malign that Constitution, torture that Constitution to achieve a particular end. So here we have a Prime Minister who was not elected by the people, and a Prime Minister who was not elected by even his own party. If you would know it, I mean, you have spoken on this. If this is not a trampling on our Constitution and, more important, our democratic rights, then tell me what is. So it's a cause for great concern and tells us how they intend to govern. They will bend and twist and distort everything in order to achieve their end. And that's where you and I and others come in. I liked your words this morning when you talk about UNC being a united coalition of interests. And if I can follow up with that, and of course you can come back to me. As you know, we've been talking with your party, the PP. We've been talking with the unions, and we have two candidates being proposed by the AWTU. We are speaking with the PSA, and we intend to finalize some arrangements there. And the COP has reached out to us again, and we are in discussions with them. So we are well on the way to forging that coalition of interests for the benefit of the people of Trinidad and Tobago.
Yeah, thank you so very much for all of that information on behalf of all the listeners, because I know, and this show is going to go a long way in that, clearing up a lot of the misinformation and a lot of the misconceptions. 91.9 has their powerful following, and we have ours on social media. So I want to thank you for giving us that information. Welcome aboard to the Congress of the People. I've told them that we're having this event on Saturday. People looking forward, and they're asking me, oh gosh, please, see what you can do to get the leader to speak. I tried to explain to them they have protocols where parties are concerned, and the first joint meeting that we should have should be on a UNC platform. That's the correct position, right?
Yes, certainly, and on a UNC platform, but also when we have our entire coalition together.
Right.
So that should not take us too long again, you know. But I'm seeing something very interesting, Philip. We would not know until later today. But as you know, the law is that when a prime minister is appointed, and this is different from a prime minister being appointed to act. This is a substantive prime minister just to be sworn in today. The law, the constitution tells us that every minister is gone. They lose their job. They no longer have a minister's job. And that is why we will witness today, later today, ministers being shuffled about and new ministers coming forward. So in looking at that, I think it is clear that this is a shuffling of the same old guard. So I do not expect any benefit, any advantages coming from any new cabinet that will be appointed today. What are your views, Philip?
I don't understand what would be the point of all of this. This is just an entire mess that seems to be throwing the country into further anxiety at a time when the economy is collapsing, when national security has failed. People are afraid to go out of their house in daylight, much less nighttime. You don't know if you're safe home. Children going to school, the education system not delivering the health care. We don't even know what's going on in the nation's hospitals right now. All of that's happening, and you add this anxiety to it when the people just want a government to take care of business. And I fully agree with what you said earlier. Call the election. That is the solution to this entire mess. If Keith Rowley is fed up of the job, or if he's running from somebody, because it doesn't make sense. We have no understanding as to why this is happening. And that's a question. We've been talking about the how and the what a lot, but I don't understand why this is happening at this point. He has a couple months left in his government, because 5 years from the 10th of August 2020 is the deadline for an election. So what's this for? What is this about? You have any clue?
Well, I think all will be revealed in due course. I mean, there's a lot of speculation. There are many conspiracy theories and so on, and it will come forward, it will come forth. But I want to pay a little more attention, when I read some of the things that they said yesterday on the platform. This is the last speech of an outgoing Prime Minister. And in that speech, 90% of the time was spent about the opposition leader. I think when that gentleman goes home, he probably, he's probably, I'm renting space in his brain or something.
Well, you see, I wanted to say this morning, because I saw the picture with him and his wife by the ensign, and I wanted to say to him, in your mind, is Kamla sitting on the other leg? Because he has you on his mind. He's been the Prime Minister for 10 years, and everything is still you. So in his mind, are you still running the country? I don't know. If they've not been able to take any control of the country in the past 10 years to effectively run and manage the country. Because I can't remember you saying between 2010 and 2015, I can't remember the word manning coming out your mouth at all. So I don't understand. I know that in politics, when you assume office, you accept that the last person, all the failures of the last person, and we move forward, whatever you think the failures were. But you don't dwell on it. And I don't understand what this obsession that he has with you is. I think psychologists should weigh in on this.
All right, I wouldn't go too far on that discussion, but it is something worth exploring. The other thing I noticed, and we can discuss it, is that all the issues raised, of course, there are no issues that were raised that help, as you say, all the ills to help fix it, in your words, fix it. Instead, we have distractions. Let's take one. And they're the masters of distraction. So one, Sanders comes up again. The scandals associated with Sanders. So what should we all do? Run off and start to talk about Sanders and scandals. He talks about getting rid of the Privy Council. So what should we all do? Grab onto that, and we all talk about getting rid of the Privy Council. And so if you go down the litany of issues raised, not a single one has anything to do with what you just raised, which is for the benefit of people, for better health care, for a better education system, for better infrastructure, and for creating jobs, for diversifying the economy. Not a thing that was said yesterday gives us any inkling, any hope that there will be benefits to people and that the quality of life of people will be improved. Instead, as I say, distraction, the other word, red herrings, every single one of those issues the gentleman raised were distractions. And yes, that is funny. We grab onto it, we put our teeth into it, and everybody's going off on all these tangents. When what are the real issues is the quality of life.
Indeed.
Whether it's with respect to crime, healthcare, infrastructure, education, economy. Nothing for any benefit in those, and therefore we are spinning top in mud with whatever it is, an old government outgoing or a new government incoming. It is the same failed strategies and ideas that they're putting forward. That's how I see it.
Well, I think that I look forward. I speak for everybody when I say we look forward to the response to whatever they try to do today. I'm everybody on the edge of their seats, because we have a lot of people putting out legal advice that because they don't know, the PNM has not said how they propose to end run the Constitution, to find a way to foist this man as Prime Minister. I hear he's picked a cabinet and they're going to appoint ministers and an attorney general. But it seems to me that they're trying to form a government without an election.
You're totally correct. That's what is happening. And well, the Constitution allows for that. Where a new Prime Minister, I'm saying provides, not allows, provides where a new Prime Minister is appointed. And you come back to the legally. You know, when I was a law student many years ago, we go to the law and we must go to the law. We are governed by the rule of law. I remember there was a very famous dictum from a judge out of the United States, and where he said, do not rest your faith upon laws and upon constitutions. And he developed that point further down. And then the bottom line was, liberty lies in the hearts of men and women, and not in any law books. Words to that effect. And I don't want us now, Philip, to go too much into the legalese of this. That is why I come back again. Liberty lies in the hearts of men and women. That is where you rest your faith. That is where you rest your future. And that is why I'm suggesting we don't get tied in the legalese. That election has to be called and will be called very shortly. So let's gird our loins. Let's put our strength and let us make sure that we mobilize people to stand up for their liberty and for their rights and their freedom.
Well said.
And not get too tied up in courthouse. I mean, we have court closed. We have very good lawyers. I had mentioned that our lawyers are still looking at it, but that is not my end all and be all. My end all and be all, as I say, liberty lies in the hearts of men and women. Rest your faith there. And I think that is where we should be going.
Madam Opposition Leader, I think you inspired me and everybody listening. We're getting ready to hit the road. It's time. Elections coming. I want to thank you for taking the call on the inaugural show and blessing us. And I'll talk to you soon.
Certainly, and to all your listeners, God bless. Thank you all very much.
Have a great day. All right, so we're gonna wrap up the inaugural show of Pep Talks on a morning 8 to 9 on 91.9. I want to thank Michelle. I want to thank Kyle. I want to thank Iowa. I want to thank everybody who went out of their way to make sure that despite all of the little hiccups, we were able to pull it off bang on. Yeah. So as we count down to the wrap up, this is the start of many a good show. Thank you very, very much, Kamla Persad Bissessar, for blessing us with that call. And to all of you who were locked on and listening, get ready, gird your loins. It's about to happen. We're hitting the road. As soon as that bell rings, we're ready for them. This Saturday, 22nd March, all roads lead to the PEP Mass Rally at our St. Joseph office, Bamboo number 1. Come hear our powerful lineup of speakers, including yours truly, deliver the blueprint for rescuing our country. There'll be bouncy castles and face painting for the kids, and good food and drinks galore. Family activities start from 2 p.m. and the political meeting starts at 5. Bring the whole family and